Hello everyone, it's Angela from The Chaotic Life of a Planner. Welcome to my channel. So I have here in front of me my 2020 Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Binder. This will be my budget binder. Now I am still working on setting up all of my extra trackers and whatnot in this binder. So I am going to save those pages for later. But what I want to do, since it's actually New Year's Eve when I'm filming this, or when I'm starting to film this anyways, so I need to have my January budget done like ASAP. So I'm going to lay out my January budget pages today, and then in a few days, or maybe even next week, I will go back and show you all of the new trackers that I'm adding for this year. So I did use the binder for the last half of 2019. I want to show you guys how thick this is because it's pretty thick. So what I did is I originally had started in the coiled Deluxe Monthly, and then I uncoiled it and added it to the binder. So let me put these side by side actually so you can see. It's so thick. I do have a few extra papers in this binder that in my 2019 budget binder that I don't need to have in there, but not a ton. But look at the, let me do it this way, thickness difference. Like this sucker is like hugely thick compared to this one. So that's kind of fun to me. So anyways, we are going to go ahead and set up January's budget. I am pretty excited about some of my goals for this year, especially our financial goals. My husband comes home actually late tonight, so hopefully we'll be able to get all of our financial goals solidified so that when I sit down and go over all of my trackers and whatnot in here with you guys, that will be done. All right, so I'm going to use a caffeinated CAIT kit. I know you are not surprised by that. I do use her printable kits. I've been doing that for a few months now, and it's been working out pretty nicely for me. So this is the budget kit that I'm going to be using. And then I also have the Paycheck Budget pages, the sinking funds, transaction log, and weekly check-in. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do for weekly check-ins at this point. You guys know I hate them, but I do see the value in doing them, so we'll see how that goes. I also have the debt tracker, debt snowball, spending tracker, and savings tracker. And then I have the bill due stickers. I'm also going to be changing up the way that I do my bill due stickers, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. So all of these sheets right here, I believe cost $10.50 to buy from the digital shop. And or I guess she doesn't call it a digital shop, she calls it her printable shop. And then I just printed them with my regular HP Envy printer. I think I've had it for like 8 years now. I think it's been 8 years. And then I just cut them with my Cricut Maker. It's super simple. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take out this page, set this aside, and I'm going to lay out my monthly budget kit. I'm just going to lay out my monthly budget kits, and then I'll speed it up as it's going through so it doesn't take so long. So I will be back in just a few minutes to talk to you guys about some changes that I'm going to make. Okay, so I think that is pretty much everything. I'm going to go ahead and put in these total stickers now. So I thought when I started this that one of the things I was going to do was just have like, rather than list out credit cards individually, I was just going to do them as like one credit card line item. But then as I started to think about it, I decided I'm not going to do that for right now. I may do that later. Honestly, it would work fine because I list all those bills individually on my monthly view, but I decided for whatever reason to not do it like that. So I'm going to add in the rest of my lines now. So as I was going down through this list, you know, I've kind of got my list of credit card debt that I want to tackle this year. I just need to confirm with my husband that he thinks that that is the best plan as well. But I was starting to get excited because I was like, you know, when I don't have these bills anymore, this is going to free up so much money. Like, for example, we're not going to have the orthodontist. We're definitely going to pay that one off this year. And they have to pay the billet family for 2 or 3 more months, depending on whether or not they make playoffs. We're going to pay off this credit card, this credit card, this credit card, one of these credit cards, this one. You know, those, and these are attainable goals for us this year if we work at it, and I know we can do it, and I'm super excited. So I'm just going to go ahead. I never know if I should put these lines here or not. Well, maybe I won't. I'm just going to leave it like this for now. So I want to tell you guys how I distinguish between fixed expenses and variable expenses. If you are new here, then I would like to explain this to you, but if you've been around, then you can go ahead and hit the fast forward button because you already know. So fixed expenses to me are anything that we would still have to pay even if my husband lost his job. So if he came home from work tonight and said, hey, guess what? I got fired, or I decided to leave, or whatever. I'm not going back in 2 weeks. The first thing that I would do is sit down and look at our bills and figure out, okay, which ones need to go. These are more than likely going to still have to get paid. And some of these would still have to get paid, but I can definitely, like, I could call GCI, and they are our internet provider. I could maybe get a different internet, or I could change to a different plan that, or, you know, company that's cheaper or whatever. Some of my subscriptions I would be able to get rid of. I could definitely cut down on my spending money. Groceries we could cut down on. We could definitely cut down on some travel. So those types of things. So that's how I distinguish between fixed expenses and variable. But I know that, you know, different people do it differently. And that is definitely okay, because one of the things about budgeting is you need to come up with a plan that works for you. So not every single person's budget or method of budgeting will look the same, and that is completely okay. So if you guys don't like the way that I do it as a whole, but you might find bits and pieces of the way that I budget that you can apply to your own lives, then that is totally fine. You do not have to do it exactly the way that I do it. I'm going to go ahead and add this page back to my binder. There we go. So that I have it in there. Now we're going to go to the monthly view. I do have plans for these pages. I'm just not going to do them right now. So let's go to the monthly view. Now, I don't use a monthly kit. I actually kind of prefer the neutral version for my binder, because then, or for my budget planner, because I don't necessarily like to have the colorful strips right there, but it's all good. We're just going to make this work. What I'm planning to do differently in January as far as my bill due stickers, and I should mention to you that When you do the printables, you get both kinds of bill due stickers on one sheet. I actually really like these bill due stickers that take up the 2 lines, but they take up too much space in my planner. So I just use these single lines right here. And some of them say auto pay, and then some of them have this little checkbox right here for the ones that you manually pay as well. So I do paycheck budgeting. I have my month as a whole, and then I do paycheck budgeting. So what I decided to do is, since it comes with 3 colors, and very rarely do I have more than 3 paychecks in a month, I'm going to use one set of colors for each paycheck budget. So I know when I just quickly glance at my monthly view, I'll be able to easily tell which bills are going to get paid from which paycheck. Now I've told you guys this before, we are front end heavy, meaning that the majority of our bills are paid on the 1st. I don't remember if we exactly did it this way on purpose. For the most part it works, but we are going to have to change a couple of bills this year to later dates, just because, well, I think we're going to. I'm kind of waiting to see. My husband just started his new job. He has been there for 3 weeks, so we're still kind of waiting to see how the schedule is going to work, like the pay schedule. Like, I think his first paycheck will be for like 11 days worth of work, but then the next paycheck will only be for like 3 days. So I don't exactly know what's going to happen. I'm just going to go ahead and put these extra stickers on the 29th and the 30th, even though they're all getting paid on like the 1st, pretty much, or within the first couple of days. Anyways, but the reason why I'm moving them over here is because our next payday is on the 2nd. So I need to make sure that I have room for those bills as well. All right, and we're almost done here. And then the last 2 I'm going to put are just the mortgage and my car payment. My car payment will be paid this year. That will be done. That will be nice. Okay, so these are all the first set of bills from paycheck 1. Now, paycheck 2 will be this aqua color right here. I really do like the colors from this kit. Super fun. So we'll put this one here. This is another one, Hockey TV. We will not have to have this subscription much longer. March will probably be our last month that we'll need to have that, because Benjamin's junior hockey season will be over with. There's that, and then I have this one right here. Technically, these 2 bills could be from the 3rd paycheck, because that payday will be on the 16th, and these ones are due on the 16th, but I know that we are not going to have enough money in that paycheck to pay these, so I know that I'm going to need to pay those early, or at least save money from the 2nd paycheck to pay these. Okay, let's see where I am here. No, that does not. I think I missed a day. Let's see here. Where does this one go? Oh, the 19th. Our car insurance did go down a little bit. It just recently renewed, so it went down about, I don't know, $25, $30, which that's always nice when that happens. So this is going to make doing my paycheck budget super duper easy. All right, so that is it. Those are my bills for the month. I have them broken down by paycheck. I'm hoping it will be easy. Now, the other thing that I will do is as I track spending, like if I swipe my debit card or anything like that, it will be put in here. But to be honest with you, I've been doing a pretty good job at cash envelopes lately, so the only debit card spending that should be happening should be gas. Cash envelopes I use are like for groceries. Sometimes household gets swiped. And if you guys have been around here for a little bit, you know that we typically swipe the card a lot more when my husband is home. But we're going to try to not do that. We are traveling this weekend, so there may be some travel that will be, that the debit card will be swiped, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so now I'm going to start paycheck budgets. I'm going to go ahead and just lay out all of my paycheck budgets, and I will do that so you guys can watch, but I'm going to speed it up so it doesn't take forever. So I'll be back to talk in just a few minutes. All right, so I don't know why that's doing that. So I have all of my paycheck budgets laid out for the month now. So now all I'm going to do is I will just look here and see all of these darker pink colored bills, and those are the ones that will get written down here. So I know we need to pay the Subaru, the mortgage, the RV, some credit card bills, the orthodontist, this is Liberty School, heating fuel. We are on the budget billing for the heating fuel, so that works out nicely. AT&T, billet family, then I will need groceries, gas. I will put down household. Actually, no. Let's not put household, because I don't think I'm going to have any household, like, well, that's not true. I want to put sinking funds. Because household will be part of sinking funds. And then I'm just going to leave it right there because I want to ask my husband if he wants to add anything else after that. So what you will notice is I did not put any of my totals down, but that is because I want to wait until I list all of my bills out, and then after it's done and everything is solidified, I'll put my totals sticker there. And the same goes for paycheck 2 and 3. budgets as well. I will add the totals there after that's completely done. So I will just go ahead and stick this page right here in the pocket that I added to the front of my binder. I'm sorry, my phone keeps going off. All right, so I think the next thing I'm gonna do is I am gonna go ahead and add a weekly check-in, but I think I'm just going to do a mid-month check-in, maybe around the 15th of the month, just to kind of check and see how things are going. I said I was going to do this in December and I didn't. Well, I guess I didn't actually write it down on paper, but I did kind of keep track and see how things were going. We actually didn't do too badly. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to track 6 different things, I believe. Let's see. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, so I am going to track, let's see. I'm going to make sure I do this straight. Groceries, which is a cash envelope or a cash clip, whatever. Gas. Weekend fun, which is also cash. Household. My money, which can be cash, but I also have my own separate account now. And then unbudgeted, which I'm not budgeting anything for unbudgeted, but I want to make sure I keep track of it. I might also, yeah, I'm just going to leave it for like that for now. I've toyed with the idea of putting like a miscellaneous category, but we haven't done that as of yet. So I'll just go ahead and leave it like this. Put that, well, I might as well leave that out while I write the other. Okay, so, and then I'm just going to go ahead and use one of these extra thin washies that comes from the budget kit to block that off on the bottom. And this will basically just be to make sure that I'm not overspending. How we have decided to work our grocery money is I'm going to take usually $200 a week. So that's how we're going to be planning that. And then weekend fun money will just kind of vary. We'll just have to see. There might be some weeks where we can't afford any weekend fun money because we did take a pretty substantial pay cut with this new job that my husband has so that he could have more time at home. So it will definitely be worth it. It's just going to take some getting used to. I mean, it's not chump change, that's for sure. So I'm just going to draw these lines. So now I've set up my monthly budget, I've done my bills, I've done my paycheck budgets, and I have done my weekly check-ins. So now I'm going to have to add some of my extra notes pages from the back. I haven't cut, or I haven't punched all of, well, this is problematic. You can see I have not punched all of the holes bigger yet in, like, especially the notes pages. And these little tiny holes are terrible. I don't have any idea why they made them like that. They don't work at all. But I do love the binder, and it's not really that difficult to just go ahead and punch the holes bigger. We don't have a Staples here. We have an Office Depot, I believe it is. And I did go there to see if they would just punch the holes bigger for me all at once. And they said they did not have the ability to do that, which I found that to be odd, but you know, whatever. So if you have more office store options in your area, I've heard that Staples will do it, or at least I've read that. Other people have said that. So I'm just going to get these pages put back in here, and then I'll be right back. Okay. Now that my binder is back together, let's go ahead and do sinking funds. So I'm pretty excited. I've been saying for months now, we need to start sinking funds. We need to start sinking funds. So I think we've kind of decided we're going to start them, even if we just start them with like putting $10 a paycheck into like 4 or 5 different funds, just so that we can actually get everything started. I need to do some math and figure out how much we need to put in certain categories, just so we have some ideas, because sinking funds are relatively new to us. So I did track a bunch of sinking fund amounts last year. Like I tracked my sinking fund or my transaction log pages, like how much, or if we bought dog food, I put that on there. Or if we took the dogs to the groomers, like I put that on there. So I have the ability to go back and add that all up, so I would know approximately how much we'll have to put into our pet expenses sinking fund every month to not have to just cash flow a bunch of expenses like that. So that, you know, when the dogs have to go to the groomers, because I have golden doodles and they go to the groomers about every 6 weeks. So we don't have to, you know, be caught by surprise for anything like that. So I have those numbers to be able to go ahead and come up with my sinking fund amounts. I just need to do that. So I'm expecting to do that kind of thing this weekend. We're going to Alaska to go skiing, and we do have to bring the grandbaby with us, so I'm not really sure how much skiing I'll be doing, like probably none, to be honest with you, but I will be doing a lot of sitting at the resort with the baby. So I'm hoping that I can use some of that time to get some of this kind of admin type stuff taken care of. But we'll see. So there's that. Now some of the sinking fund categories, let me move that out of the way, that I know we're going to have will be beauty, pet expenses, vehicle maintenance, birthdays, Christmas, holidays, and then clothing. I think I want to do one for kids and then one for Mike and I. And then I also want to have a Lucas fund for things that I might have to buy for him that we keep at the house, like, I don't know, whatever, maybe like if I need a high chair at the house, which I actually don't think that I will, but that's just an example. Okay, and then I will also leave just a couple of spaces so that we can add more if my husband has any other recommendations. We should probably have one for subscriptions, like Amazon Prime. I think we also have the Barnes & Noble member one as well. So obviously all of these are going to start with 0. Some of these will be cash sinking funds, and then some of them will go into another account. The problem is I need to write on the debit cards what account each debit card is for, because we have like our joint account, and then I have the debit card that's for my personal account. So today I went to buy fireworks because, you know, it's New Year's Eve and everybody in Alaska does fireworks on New Year's Eve. And I accidentally gave her the wrong debit card to pay for those fireworks, which I can just easily fix that with a quick transfer. But when you have multiple debit cards from the same bank, it gets kind of tricky. All right, the only other thing that I really have left to do, and I was debating whether or not I should break this into 2 videos or if it should just be one, which I think I'm just going to go ahead and stick with one, but it's going to be a little bit longer than normal. I'm going to do my debt tracker right here. Okay, so there's my debt tracker, and I'll go ahead and just fill in those debts later. And then I also want to do a spending tracker. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to use the spending tracker this year. I want to change it up a little bit from last year, because kind of just the way that I did last year was just kind of not necessary the way that I was doing it. So I'm going to put it in here, but I'm going to decide exactly how I'm going to use it later. It may be how I track, let's see, how do I want to say this? So how I think I'm going to use this is sometimes my kids will be like, oh, Mom, I'm going to Venmo. Why do I keep saying Venmo? Venmo you some money if you can order this for me or whatever. So there'll be like a Venmo transaction, and then there will be like a Target transaction or whatever. And then, you know, like a week or so later, my husband will be like, hey, what was that for? And I'll be like, I don't know. It was just something for the kids. I don't remember. Or if I transfer money to one of the kids' accounts. So I may just use it for kind of like a miscellaneous thing that I would probably not even pay attention to if I looked at the bank account, but especially if it was like they Venmo'd me money and then I immediately ordered whatever they wanted, so it was the same amount of money. Like, to me, it would be a wash and I wouldn't even pay attention to it. But he keeps track of things a little bit differently than I do, so it would definitely be something that he would pay attention to. So I may just kind of use it for that. And then I may just do this little savings tracker right here. To be honest with you, we're not saving a ton of money right now because we're still paying for, well, we're going to make the last payment this week for hockey. And then we're also working on renovations for the house so that we can list it for sale pretty soon. But I will just go ahead and put this little savings tracker right here since I have some extra room, and you never know, maybe we will actually be able to save a little bit of money this month. I shouldn't say that. We do save some, but not as much as we would like, for sure. All right, so I do have a few pieces of thin washi left, which is surprising. I don't usually, because I usually just add it in wherever I think it's needed. But I just go ahead and add in my lines. All right, so we'll see. This is always going to be a work in progress. Like, I never know exactly if this is going to work the way that I intended it to or not. But I'm pretty excited about this. So I do have a question for you guys. Do you leave a cushion in your checking account? We don't leave a lot of extra money in our checking account, and it kind of makes me like almost want to have a heart attack every month. So my husband's been just kind of leaving like a cushion, but it's not very much. And he doesn't really think that we need much more than like a $20 cushion in the checking account. And it nearly gives me a heart attack. So you guys tell me, do you think that you should have a cushion in your checking account? Or do you figure if you budget everything out down to zero, then you should be fine. You don't really need to leave a cushion in there. So go ahead and leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. I even sent him an explanation for a checking account cushion from the Budget Mom, but he did not agree with that. He was like, yeah, no, I don't think that's necessary. So settle the debate. Do you guys think you should have a decent cushion in your checking account, or does it not really matter? So I do have links to all of these products down below. I will try and leave in the iCards above the link to the video of me setting up this binder where I added in these pockets and all of that. If you've never ordered from Erin Condren, there's a referral code down below that you can use to get a coupon to save $10 off your first order. I should tell you that the Erin Condren links down below are affiliate links, which doesn't mean really anything for you. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does give me a little bit of a kickback to support my channel, so I would greatly appreciate that. Please do give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. That helps YouTube know, based on the amount of interaction that I have with my viewers, whether or not they should recommend my channel to others. If you're new here, please do hit that red subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!